First of all, would you introduce yourself to the viewers?
My name is Douglas Brumfield. Right now I'm in Texas, USA.
Okay, so we're gonna ask you a few questions about your high school life.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, what club did you join in high school?
Well, let's see. The only club in our high school back in the 1960s was the Beta Club. In the Beta Club, you had to have a 90 or above in your grades to be in the Beta Club. It was mostly girls in that club, if I remember. And I was not in the Beta Club for obvious reasons. In other words, I didn't have a 90 or above average.
Oh, what did they do
So,
in Beta Club?
oh, they just had meetings, and sometimes they would visit with other beta clubs in other school districts and have debates. And besides that, I don't know because I was not in the beta club.
So, what clubs were you in?
There were no other clubs.
The sports weren't called clubs.
No, you just either you joined them or not. But I played football, basketball, and run track. But you had to have your grades up, you know, in order to stay in those on those teams. If you were failing, then you would have to drop out of the. Say, if you played football, then you have to drop out until you got your grades back up above a 70.
Okay, next question.
Okay.
What was popular in high school?
Well, let's see. Back in the 1960s, I guess all I could think of was rock and roll music was popular. We would have school dances and occasionally, and everyone would rock out, have a good time dancing. Usually, the girls and the boys, they kind of kept to themselves during school time. During school, the girls would stay together, the boys stayed together. So when we had these dances, it was a good time to socialize. So we enjoyed that time. We got to socialize with the girls more, us boys.
So, what kind of singers? You say rock and roll. Is there any specific singers that were popular?
Oh, yeah. Elvis Presley, Fats Domino. There was quite a few of them. Jerry Lee Lewis. That's just a few. There's many of them back in those days.
Next question. How were the teachers? How did they treat you?
Let's see. The teachers back in them days were much older than teachers are today and very strict. Uh, in those days, we had corporal punishment, which means if you misbehaved, you got paddled or got your butt tore up. So, first of all, if you misbehaved, maybe the teacher would send you to the principal's office and he'd talk to you, chew you out a little bit. And then if he decided you needed paddled, he would send you to our coach who coached football. Then he would give you a paddle. And he could hit you so hard he could raise you off the floor about a foot every time he hit you. So anyway, the teachers were strict and they're much older back in those days than they are today.
Then that leads to the next question. Have you argued or fought with your high school teachers?
No, 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 no. I never argued or fought with any of my teachers. We were very respectful back in those days, mostly in fear of being sent to the principal's office and then ultimately having a meeting with the coach. So, corporal punishment was very effective.
Next question. Was there anything interesting that happened in high school? Like some fun events or something?
Um, Anything interesting? Not really. I can't think of anything interesting, but something historically tragic happened when I was in high school.
What?
I'll never forget that on November the 22nd, yeah, 1963. our teacher, she came into the room and she had tears in her eyes, and she announced to the class that President John F. Kennedy had just been assassinated in Dallas, Texas. In other words, he was shot and killed. And Dallas was only about 40 miles away from where we were. So it was kind of a sad day.
Next question. What's the baddest thing you did in high school?
The baddest thing I did in high school,
Yeah.
it's been so long ago, it's hard to remember. If I had to guess, I would say I never did anything bad.
So you didn't get into any fights with classmates or stuff?
Oh, yeah, sometimes we'd get in scuffles, but, they were just clean fights, There wasn't any knives or guns going on back then like that.
Oh,
We just maybe a fist fight or a wrestling match or something, but we didn't consider that being bad. That was just
no.
everyday fun.
In that time, in that time. Next question. Did you date in high school?
Oh yeah, I dated, that's for sure. There was only 19 students in our high school class, first of all. So it was a small country school.
Mhm.
Uh, 10 of them were girls. And in the junior class, I think it was about the same number, but I think 15 of them were girls. So there was lots of girls. So yeah, I dated for sure. And I actually dated every one of those girls in my class, on and off. It was quite tiring at times. I had a 55 Chevy car at the time when I was in 11th grade. And on Friday night and Saturday night, or sometimes both, I would take a date and go to the drive-in theater and watch a movie. The drive-in theater was a big screen they had outside. I'm talking about big as a building, and people would drive up, park, and had a speaker, and then they could watch it and stay in their car. So it was a good time in my life.
Okay. Last question.
Uh
Do
huh.
you have something to say to the high schoolers nowadays, whether it's in Taiwan or America?
Yeah, I would probably say the same thing to either one. I'd say listen to your parents, show respect. All they want is the best for you while you're in school and when you grow up. Also, no matter what job you do, and I tell my kids this, whether it's sweeping the floor at school or in your career, do the best you can. Don't be lazy. Do the best you can at everything that you do. If you learn to work and be dependable, then you will have success in your career. One other thing, the most important thing, the most important thing in life is not money, okay, or fame, but it's family and friends. So always cherish them. Well, goodbye, everyone. This is signing off from the Lone Star State of Texas, USA, America. Adios.